Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech, and here today, guys, doing a good overview video here of my first 12 hours with this phone right here. Yeah, that's right, this is the Honor Play. And like I said, I just got this phone yesterday, and I've been putting it through its paces over the past day here, and it's kind of been gonna be a brief overview of my first kind of evening into morning with this phone. Now I'm just gonna go down the general list that I do of design, display, performance, audio, do a quick audio test, and then show you kind of a few of the shots that I've been taking on this phone. I also want to do kind of a comparison though, and I'm going to slot this in one of the sections, a comparison of this phone, at least size-wise, to some of the other phones I've been testing. So let's have a look first at just a quick summary of this phone. And man, when I said that this was the performance to price king, I meant it. This thing is speedy. This is using the Kirin 970 processor here, and it is a speed demon. I mean, it's not going to beat the 845 in a lot of tests, but I think you would be surprised that compared to the 660, I'd say even compared to the 710, to the Snapdragon 636, every other phone at this price point, or near this price point, is not going to do as good as this phone. Because I mean, I think Huawei did a really smart thing by pretty much putting their flagship processor, and they put it in their flagship, obviously the P20 Pro, but now they're kind of putting it in every single phone they release. And I think that is an amazing strategy, because you're putting a really great 10 nanometer chip into one of these kind of more budget, more mid-range phones, and it's kind of making the performance parity for people who can't afford the flagships a lot more manageable. And that's really what this phone is about. But before we go into any of those sections, let me do a quick unboxing. I kind of showed the box yesterday, but just so you see here, the one I got is the 6GB, 64 gigabyte of storage version. Let's open this up here, and there's some materials here. I'm gonna set those aside there. You can see here, what do we have in the box? We have the little kind of I think these are the kind of the ID trays and whatever, and here, as you can see, the SIM ejector tool is supposed to be slotted in there. You can see here just some basic stuff. I am Honor. That sounds so so heroic. I am Honor. And let's see in the rest of the box, pretty basic unboxing. It's just but you do have the Huawei quick charge right here, and you can see which one it is. 9 volts, so that's really good that they have that. And then obviously you have your USB-C cable, and that's really good that they have that too, because like I mentioned, this is not a micro USB. The reason why I know some of you guys were requesting the Honor 3i, but the reason why I loved this Honor Play was because it is rocking the actual, there's some literature there, it's actually rocking that USB-C charger. So I'm really glad, and really hoping that I never have to really charge, to really kind of use another micro USB phone again. One other thing that came in the box, but I've been using obviously on the side of the phone, is this TPU case. It did come included in the box, and it's just your basic, you can see there, basic plastic shell case. Nothing too much doing, so pretty basic unboxing here, and you can see it there. That's pretty much it. Now talking about design. So the design of this phone, as I mentioned yesterday in my video, it is an aluminum back here, and let's kind of show you it here. And I said that this phone reminded me of a certain other phone in blue color, and that's this one right here. That is the Xiaomi Mi A2. So I think it'd be nice to kind of do maybe a design comparison between these. Let's just kind of have a look. Why I said that it reminded me of that, well, you see the camera placement there. You see the antenna lines, the way they show up there. Even the placement of the fingerprint scanner. I kind of prefer the placement on the Mi A2 actually better. This one's a little bit higher up, but it is a more recessed, if you can tell there in the lighting. It is a bit more of a recessed fingerprint scanner. And then kind of looking up close there, you see there you have the two you have the dual camera setup. They're both kind of side here. And the one major thing that this has over the Mi A2, though you see it there, is that headphone jack. So I think in terms of like design, I think I do kind of appreciate the sleekness of the Mi 2. The curves are just a little bit more enjoyable. This one's a bit more kind of flat on the back, if you can see it there. It does get very flat. It just got a curve. Does remind me a lot more of the iPhone, you know, of just like kind of your standard iPhone, the way it curves and then is all flat on the back. Whereas this one, as you see, it's got this kind of subtle curviness to it. But now, you know, as size comparison, you can see it there. They're fitting a pretty much a 6.3 inch screen in a phone size that is actually smaller. You can see it there. The bezels are definitely smaller versus the Mi A2 here. And you can definitely see also, let's kind of rank up the brightness here. Okay, there you see it. That's the size difference there. And okay, so this phone has a notch, but what does it get by having a notch? It has a lot bigger a screen in a much smaller form factor. I mean, the form factor is slightly smaller, but it has a 6.3 inch display. So that's really going to make a difference, I think, for anyone who wants to be able to maximize that. So overall, I'd say the design is good. It's nothing really spectacular. It's not going to be comparable to, let's bring him in here. And he's still dead from last night, guys. So I'll be doing a fully comparison of these later. But you see, this is kind of the Honor look, or at least the kind of more recent Honor look, is this really nice glass finish. You know what? That might not be for you. That might not be for everyone. And I actually kind of appreciate that this phone is metallic. It's aluminum. It's a lot more durable, and I think some of you will like that, whereas others of you will definitely be lamenting the fact that it doesn't have this really nice, the glossy look of the Honor Note 10. So, can't win them all, guys. You can't win them all. And that's a great segue from the Honor Note 10, because that's the other thing that this phone doesn't have that one does, and that is it has only an LCD, an IPS LCD panel. Going into display now, and you can see it here. The IPS LCD is bright. I'm going to put it at max brightness so you can kind of see it does get very bright. And you know, in the light yesterday when I was kind of filming it, I definitely noticed there was a little bit of glare, but it wasn't kind of too much to not be able to run or to work. So I think overall the display is doing what it's doing. It's not going to be as the blacks are not going to be as black. It's not going to be as saturated as your AMOLED panels. And you can kind of see it there let's see if I can show you. You can definitely see a different kind of experience. There you go. When you are zooming in and out, it almost looks like the notch is like painted on or something. It's kind of weird, but I know that's not the case because obviously there's a camera there. I think what they've done here is they've actually just chopped off the display there a little bit, but it just looks kind of interesting how that goes underneath. You see it there. Looks kind of different than it does on your typical AMOLED phones when you have that notch input there. But what does this mean to kind of overall experience? Well, let me show you guys just a quick video here. Yeah, so let's just jump into one of my videos here. And you can get the overall experience of what it's like. And so there you see, let's kind of turn up the volume there. Oh, and I think it might be actually taking Bluetooth right now, so let's turn that off. There you go. No dual speakers, guys. gonna have to do a kind of review of that later. But let's lower the video, the audio here to kind of see what it looks like. So there you go. The good news here is that it's not going to eat into the notch. It's not going to use that notched area. It's just going to kind of view it as it would if it was a very kind of bezel-less phone. And I think it looks great overall. Looks really, really good. So the display, the colors, now they're not as contrasty as AMOLED, but like I said, once again, you can't win them all. And this is going to be, it's going to have all the limitations of your your LCD of your LCD displays, all the limitations, but it'll also have all of the benefits. So you are definitely going to be looking at a much more, you can see it there, a much sharper display versus the one on the Honor Note 10. So now talking about performance, and I think you guys know, since this is the Kirin 970, it's going to be running a very similar Antutu score as the one that you saw on the Honor Note 10. So in the 200,000 plus category, I am running Geekbench right here because I want to see how it compares to some of the other phones I've been testing. And, let's finish this test up and I'll show you kind of on the other side what the results were. So the test is almost wrapped up and let's see how we did. All right. 1921 by 6,700 single core, multi-core. That's pretty impressive. But this is exactly what I meant when I said performance to power to price king. Because look at these scores. And just kind of comparing here, you can see how does this device compare to the other phones on the market. You see there's the Pixel 2, the Galaxy S8, the Galaxy Note 8, and you can clearly see here, I mean, some of these phones are still on sale, dude. Like the Pixel 2, I think is still costing like $600 or $700. And looking at multi-core as well, you see here that it is surpassing the Note 8, which was the flagship Galaxy Note up until just a week ago when the Note 9 came out. But this is really impressive, especially compared to the Pixel here. So the 970 came out about a year ago, so it's definitely an older processor. I'd say in about 6 months is going to be the previous generation. But until Huawei releases its Kirin 970, this is your flagship processor, and it's on a sub $300 phone. That is incredible. And really, what does that mean to kind of overall performance? Well, you see it there. How does it translate? Very fluid, very fast performance, no lag whatsoever. And kind of related to the performance section, let's play this game right here, Shadow Fight 3. I think I've been getting a lot of comments about playing this game on the channel, and so I'm going to do that right now. So let me get this game set up to show you real quick here what it looks like playing Shadow Fight 3 on the Honor Play. All right, so here we go. So just showing you guys here a little bit of what it looks like playing this game. And by the way, guys, have not played this game previously, so you'd have to bear with me. This looks like it's kind of the tutorial here. But you can see there the frame rates. They're looking pretty solid overall. Oh, that's pretty awesome. This game looks pretty cool. I might have to start playing this for real. So you hear the sound there, obviously, but it's all about the performance here. How does this translate? And, I wonder how the turbo gaming is actually applied here, whether it's applied automatically or for certain games. I think it's for certain games like PUBG and stuff like that. So I'm getting my ass beat here. I am not. Oh, boy. Oh, my gosh. I suck. Okay, before the carnage continues, you can see it there. It is performing beautifully. And honestly, I'm gonna have to try this game out a bit more the next time I play, because that was just a really poor showing there. But performance, oh man, I could do a whole video on performance of this phone alone, because that is the reason why you would buy it. The performance of this Honor Play for the price point you get is just simply fantastic. Now here we are with the audio test, and let's just gonna do what we typically do here. We're gonna throw in. We're going to get some royalty-free EDM, my favorite type, here on this phone. And let's get it playing here. But instead of just doing it on its own here, I'm going to kind of put in the Mi A2 to kind of see what it sounds like. So let's just start first with the Honor Play. Let's just start with one of these songs right here. And this is running at, that's like 50%. Let's get up to 75%. Whoops. Kind of fast forward a little bit. Let's have a listen. Now let's switch over to the Mi A2. 75%. Sounds pretty good. Back to the Honor Play. Kind of clear sound here. I do like the sound on this. Not as loud, but now let's go the full 100. It's getting pretty loud. Now switch to the Mi A2. Wow, that's loud. Back to this one. Definitely louder, broader sounds. So definitely louder, kind of broader sounds on the Mi A2, but this phone speaker is no slouch. It definitely does pretty well with that bottom firing speaker. Now that is still a single firing speaker on both of these phones. I think if I had to pick, I would still prefer the sound overall. This one sounds a bit clearer in terms of just the mids and in terms of like kind of the mid-range there, but I think the overall kind of just feeling of the overall sound and just the loudness on the Mi A2 is better in this case. So, it was a close battle, but I think overall you're not going to be let down by the speakers on the Honor Play. They're still pretty dang good. And now to show you guys here, just a quick montage of some of the photos I took yesterday. It's going to be a very quick montage with some front and rear facing video though. So have a look at these results and let's kind of revisit when we get back. This is front-facing video, rear-facing video on the Honor Play. Walking around, checking out the sights. Some robots over there. Let's go check them out. And here's rear-facing, front-facing video on the Honor Play. Beauty mode 5 is on. I look pretty hot right now. Look at that beauty mode. Let's remove beauty mode. Oh, now I look all tired. Let's go 10 beauty mode. 10. Wow, look at me. I look amazing. So what'd you guys think? I mean, I think overall, this phone, it gets a lot out of being a part of the Honor brand and a part of Huawei, the Huawei experience, especially with that AI camera, as you can see right here. Do have the AI camera set up as an option there, and it really does make a difference with those shots, specifically those kind of shots at night. I think it just this is going to be really I think a better performer versus a lot of the phones like the Mi A2 Lite or the Nokia X6. Any of those phones are not going to be able to match this phone, at least in low light. I think the AI camera will really help out with that. But now overall, I think which phone has a better camera between this and the, let's say the right here, the Mi A2. I think that one's a lot harder to answer, but I think the Mi A2 still probably has, because it's got that f1.7 aperture on its dual cameras here, whereas this one just has f2.2. You can kind of see where this is going. I think the Mi A2 will probably eventually win that camera race there, and I think this phone really, it's more focused on the gaming aspects of it. That's why it's called the Honor Play. And so if you're looking at it to get like a really awesome camera experience, you may want to look elsewhere. You may want to invest right here in this giant phone, the Honor Note 10, which I think has a really great camera, but is obviously quite a bit more expensive right there. So I think just in terms of overall just initial camera results though, I'm fairly impressed. I'm pretty happy with the camera on this so far. So that's the end of the video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts were on this, on the kind of initial thoughts here with the Honor Play. And the question I'm going to throw you guys, and this is going to help me kind of decide what kind of coverage I do on this phone next, is this: which phone would you like me to see would you like to see compared to this Honor Play? Now, I think the obvious one of choice, the one that I was really excited about comparing, was with this one right here, and I kind of did it a little bit already, the Mi A2. I think both of these phones bring a lot to the table, but they both have LCD. They both have obviously very different kind of very different UI experience, stock versus EM UI right here. So that may be one comparison you want to see. So definitely let me know if that's the one you want to see, or do you want to see this comparison? There you go. And this is the still have it here, the Redmi Note 5. Is that the comparison you want to see? Because I think this phone brings a lot of value to the table. And look at this, beautiful. I still love the red on the Redmi Note 5. It looks great. And I mean, that would be a great comparison too. Now, obviously, the separation between in performance here is quite significant. 636 versus the actual Kirin 970 here. But maybe that's one that you're considering. So, you know, that could be a comparison there too. Let's leave that one in there as well. And then the other comparison I was considering, let's see if you guys were thinking of it too, is with this one. That's right, this is the Nokia X6 or 6.1. And this one is obviously rocking that similar 636 processor, but it does have a very kind of stock Android experience, and I think it brings a lot of different kind of factors to the table. So maybe that's the comparison you want to see. Or, as you can maybe see here, the preview of what's coming. Maybe I do all four. Maybe I do all four. And so there you go. That's the question that has an answer already. I mean, obviously, you want to see a comparison between these phones. Well, there you go. That is the next video. Stay tuned, guys, because that's going to be a fun one to do. I'm not sure the format of it. I'm going to see what the best way to do that and how that's going to be. But stay tuned because I can't wait to compare all kind of similar price range together and see who comes out on top. So stay tuned with that. Anyways, that's it, guys. So definitely hit me up in the comments section there. Like, subscribe. If you love the content, definitely do give me that thumbs up. And definitely subscribe for future awesome content on my channel, guys. I do appreciate the support, as always. Anyways, that's it for this video. And I guess this is where I say, this is Frankie Tech signing off. Y'all have a good one.